platform for this year is actually activated. So before I dabble into the topic, we have a week, I think, 1 week of sprints, of impact sprint, where people will come and, tell us about what has been activated or how to get activated for this year, actually, for this year. So in the past few days, we've had 2 sessions. First was about AI Google Space, the opportunities of which tools actually available on Google that a lot of us don't even know. And they are kind of free because Google is actually using this platform to test those products and see how they can launch this properly. I mean, to actually bring out money from these tools, because definitely they will yield. What they are trying to do, in my own perspective, I would say they want to put this out for people to use them freely. Once you are used to it, then they start putting money on it, whereby you will be forced to pay for it. That's actually what Google is doing. So while they are doing that as well, they are gathering data. They are also iterating this product to improve on them, right? And yesterday we also had AI animation, how to build, how to launch this, and how to monetize your skills, particularly regarding AI animation, making video, all sorts of video using AI and then monetizing them. It was an interesting one. And if you were not here yesterday, you probably missed a lot, but not too much. You can still reach out to Mr. Tolu for that. Okay, I will share my screen so we can get started properly. Just a moment. So, disclaimer, we are actually not going to be, looking into so much of AI. Actually, from the topic, you can see activated showing up is not enough. This is not about a motivational talk, if I'll put it that way, but definitely, if this comes to you as an inspiration, if it comes to you as a motivation, the main purpose is for you to understand or awake your mindset in a way that we understand that showing up is not enough, and we can differentiate between being activated and just showing up. Okay, please, can you confirm if you can see my screen? Okay. All right, please. Let's be audible. This is supposed to be also an interactive session. We are not just going to listen, because, like I said, it's not motivational. It's not about motivation. This is about activation, right? So if you can see my screen, let me be sure. I thought I should be seeing my screen as well. Okay, yeah, so I'm not seeing the screen. Okay. And I love that quote. It's not about motivation, but about activation. Definitely. It's about activation. So I would say that in most organizations, people are skilled, but only a few are actually activated. You see, we have what I can say, the difference between intelligence and its application, right? There is a big difference when it comes to intelligence and the application of intelligence. So AI is there. There is a lot of noise going on around AI tools. Before you know it, by the wake of tomorrow, if you have not, come across a particular tool, you will find out that, yes, a new tool has actually surfaced. Probably an advanced version of what you are using yesterday, and somehow a new one that is competing with the existing one. So the difference is not about, what we are trying to look at, what we are trying to activate is actually the application of the intelligence that you can learn, or that you have learned, or the skills that you already have. So most of us here, we are skilled. We have certificates. We know the tools. We have experiences. But all these skills alone does not pay the bill. It's only when they are activated. Only when they are activated that we can, monetize, that we can bring them into something that we can exchange for value. So today is not about moving from what we know to what we want to apply. So let's look at it from what can we do or what can the world see that we can do? Because value only counts when it is visible, right? Value only counts when it is visible. So what does it mean to show up, or what is showing up? What is the difference, or what is the gap when it comes to showing up and when it is what I'm trying to say, when you get activated? There is a gap, there is a difference in showing up and being activated. Look at it. We are all here today, presence for this meeting. Either you contribute, you don't contribute. Why you are here, there is a gap, there is a difference in why you are here or what you are contributing, right? Let's put this into a real time, or let's say a real life example. Someone attends every meeting, they deliver updates, they complete tasks, but after all of these things, maybe you notice that nothing really changes. Just because you're present, just because you complete a task, just because you deliver an update, but nothing changes. You can see that, this can easily be translated into showing up. But let's look at it from another angle. If by the time you appear in a meeting or you deliver a task, or maybe you gave an update, if you can identify, let's say for instance, you identify a blocker, or maybe you take an ownership for something that that was assigned to you. If you can close a deal, if you can actually impact or influence something that really brings out a change. The key line here is actually, to show up not in attendance, but showing up to give an impact, to make sure that the impact of your presence is felt. So in many things, you can see people attend meeting, they send an update, we stay busy, and another person will just come into maybe the meeting or the session, they identify a problem, they fix the problem, and what they did actually create a change or lead to a change. So both people or both person that came into the meeting, that deliver an update and nothing happens, compared to someone who identifies, who made a change, and then the impact was felt. This is what we call activation. This is how you get activated. This is how you influence a change and you create an impact. The same way goes to learning an AI tool. If you have an AI tool that you have learned and maybe it's just sitting in your head, you're not making use of it to generate an impact. And this time around, maybe you don't have a client, or you're thinking of how to, get a client to sell this tool or to make sure they see the value of what it is. Why not use it for yourself? Maybe you want to be your first client to apply that particular tool. So showing up or learning a skill that sits with you is not enough. And we need to see what that difference means. When you get activated, it means you have an intention, you are intentional about that particular skill. It means you are consistent about using that particular thing to bring value to you. Then gradually you will see the visible outcome, either maybe increasing your visibility, or on the long run, you start generating funds, start generating value that can be exchanged for money. So being activated transforms potential into kinetic force. Your skill becomes the engine that can change. It turns to an agent of change that can bring value to you. And like I said, this is not motivational talk, it's a practical one. If you can actually impact properly, you will see that you showing up is not the same thing as when you make an impact with any skill that you learn or with anything that you're involved in. So when we present ourselves in anywhere, we want to actually ask ourselves at the end of the day, what was the benefit of, why I was here or why I showed up somewhere? Now, what is the real problem? The real problem, why skilled professionals don't create impact. When we look at AI generally, a lot of us actually, we have learned one thing or the other using ChatGPT, maybe Gemini, using some other AI tools that you use in, creating things. We've learned if we were to talk about maybe data analytics, we can also look at this from, the way you generate your dashboard, the way you generate reports. But most of the time, we have ideas, we have things we want to create, but it stays within us. We don't really take any action. And this is what this first point, one of the first problem here. The skills stays internal in the sense that we are a good dreamer. We can dream about a lot of things. Many people can dream. Everyone can dream. But what are you doing? What action are you taking, with your dream? Because if you don't take action, maybe the first action to put it down somewhere to then, start working on it to make sure that people can actually see how this dream can transform into a problem solving solution. Without that, it stays in you and it dies there, or it remains idle for as long as it takes. Another one is the work remains invisible. Imagine when you create something with AI and you're not showing it to people. You're not making use of it personally to create value. And I will always say this: if you know any AI skill and you're not using it, maybe for anyone, I think you should understand that you should be your first client. You should be your first customer to test that product, to use that product, and measure the impact or the value that is given to you. Because if you don't understand what it is, as the person who created it, then how would you sell it to others? How would you make that impact known to any other person, right? Another problem here is the action waits for permission. A lot of hesitations within us. We try to, get some validations. We are not ready in the sense that we are waiting for the best time to make use of it. And in the world of AI is moving at a very fast rate that if you don't catch up now, you will be left behind. Like I said earlier, the tools you are using today can be obsolete tomorrow. In fact, the application you are using now, you will see the advance and other competitors that have built the same thing that works even better than what you have been using before. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to, wait for something to be perfect. You don't want to wait for that thing to arrive in its perfection before you start making use of it. And the last point here, one of the problem why skills professionals don't create impact, learning never get tested. We learn something and we forget about it. In fact, the moment we go, maybe let's say, for instance, we are in a master class, just like the one we had yesterday. I can imagine how many people has actually, went back, sit together with themselves and say, okay, can I even practicalize what I learned? How can I see how to create, how to put those things into work? So if we don't get to test what we learn, definitely there's never a way we can create an impact in that form, in that manner. Now, what showing up completely actually means, let us be honest. If I log into my workstation, logging into my workstation is actually not showing up. I mean, we all know, how your workstations are. If you have maybe an organization where you have your computer given by the organization, you log in there. Maybe you attend a meeting. Does that really mean you're showing up? Let's say you are working really, really hard. You've learned how to automate, maybe using Anytime, using Make.com. You learn how to create process using Anytime, using all sorts of low-code tools and all of that. Does these things really mean showing up? Okay, I'm not saying working hard is is literally not showing up, but is it enough when you learn all of these things? So let's say what showing up would easily translate to is actually if you can tell yourself, whenever you can tell yourself that I know what I am responsible for, I know what I am doing, and when I apply those things or when I do these things, I can see the changes. So if I go into my organization today, I log into my workstation without doing any task, without performing the things that are assigned to me, you can see that actually we definitely amount to, just showing up and without impact, without you completing your tasks, there is nothing that you can be that will be rewarded at the end of the day. You are paid. You will get paid for nothing. Okay, so let's put this into everyday analogy. Kind of, what is showing up completely? What does it really mean? Let's look at it from another angle. If I go to the gym, or if I just let's say I run into the gym, does it mean I've actually gone to the gym for training? I don't think so. Let's assume I am standing. I'm standing beside should I say, see Ronaldo, maybe dressed up, kit up in a sport wear. Does it make me a footballer or does it make me a soccer player? I don't think so. If I also, the same way, maybe I'm in the gym, I'm taking pictures and people can see me maybe one way or the other where I'm lifting gym equipment and all of that. Does it really mean I have the strength or does it really mean I'm actually doing what it is? So what I'm trying to say here is before you can completely understand what showing up means, it means you need to be consistent, you need to be focused. By doing these two things, we can actually say that, okay, we are expecting something like a result, right? We can expect result. We can expect result when we are really sincere with ourselves, with what we do, right? So looking at what showing up completely, when we say showing up completely, you need to have a clear intent. You need to know precisely what you're trying to achieve. What are those things that you want to learn? When it comes to AI is a very, a very, very big space that you have a lot of tools that can do a lot of things. So you want to be more precise. You want to be well articulated to say, okay, if I want to go into AI animation, this is what I'm going to do. If I'm going into AI automation, this is the tool I'm going to use. Maybe it is make.com if I want to stay with anything. So you want a clear intent about where you are going, the direction, and then leading us to the number two, which is a deliberate focus. You have to focus your energy on that particular thing. You don't want to, you don't want to be swayed around the noise of AI. This one can cut off someone's maybe shape the head. This one can barb your head. This one can dress you up and all of that. If it doesn't relate, if it doesn't match your intent of why you are, showing up here, why would you, waste time on them? So you want to have a deliberate focus on the one that really matters to you. Another one here is a consistent execution. So once you grab it, once you know that this is where you want to lay your focus, this is supposed to begin. I mean, it turns out to be, it will turn out to be your reading, something you want to do consistently, something you want to really put in your energy. You want to set a plan and say, okay, this is how much time I want to put to this, how much effort that I want to put into this. And then you repeat this over time, and then this compound into something that will give value at the end of the day. And the last one here, the willingness to be seen. You see, if you look at the world of AI today, no, hardly you will see someone using AI to generate or to create value or generate wealth, and they are staying invisible. You need to be, you want to. Some people have just so much, maybe I wouldn't say they are full of themselves anyway, but the truth is, you want to have that ability to be vulnerable. Because some people will say, okay, I don't want to be seen. That's why I'm not showing up. And that's why people are not seeing what you are doing. The fact that you are into AI, you need to also understand that for the value to be seen, for people to see what you're doing, you need to put yourself out there. And that's part of the vulnerability. Vulnerability here is not about your weakness. It's actually what brings you to to the limelight, something that can actually help you to organize and stay focused and improve yourself with time, right? So the critical principle here, if nothing changes when when you try to apply your knowledge, your skills, your value, if nothing really changes with the application of where you showed up to, that means you have not activated anything. That means nothing has been activated. So impact is only felt when there is result, when there is value, right? So let's see. I created this framework, actually named this an active framework, activation framework. It centers around the word active. And when you look at everything around it, it's talking about awareness, it's talking about a choice, talk about exchange, visibility, testing, and then iteration. So I took it, I looked at this framework, and I believe we can also look at this framework like a system. It's much more like a system, because anything you want to do, I believe strongly that awareness is one of the first thing. It applies in every phase of life. You need to be aware of your environment. You need to be aware of that particular thing you want to get involved with before any other thing. So look at this framework as as a system that you want to imbibe yourself in, for you to dive in, for you to get activated when it comes to, AI. And I will say this: the high performers, the people who are actually, we call them the 1% of the 1%. They don't do everything. They activate something. And that is why, I use this simple guide, active, so that we can look at awareness, our choice, how we test, the iterative part of things, visibility and exchange. This is not a theory. It's not a theory. It's not a theory. This is how I believe value is built in real life. You see, is how I believe value is built in real life. Now, let's look at awareness. For instance, you need to understand what you do well. Self-awareness is a situation whereby you understand that if I go into this particular AI, you also have some kind of, let's say, a short-term goal. And before you create a short-term goal, you want to be aware of your skills, of your ability, of something you can do tirelessly, or something you have passion for. So this is where you want to really focus your energy. So awareness is the first thing. Awareness is the first thing. Awareness will actually help you not to dance to the noise of AI. It will actually help you to guide yourself and streamline the tools that can actually help you to stay focused on that aspect. Let's say, for instance, you understand that you have passion for, let's say, for instance, yesterday we had um, AI automation for, it's much more like we're using avatars, something that resonates better with kids, right? And you have passion for this. With awareness, you can say, okay, I know I need to learn how to use the LLM software. Choose one of them, or choose the one that is most compatible. You don't have to, learn everything. You don't have to have everything. You streamline things to where you want to channel your energy, where you want to focus the more, right? So that's what awareness will do for you, right? That's what awareness will do. But if you look at this, like I said, it's not a system. This is actually this is a system, not a trait. It's something we can learn. It's something we can imbibe in. But I will take us through this one after the other. So let's write on. I've tried to streamline this so that we don't have to spend a lot of time looking at them one after the other. This is awareness and choice put together. Activation, like I said, will start when you have clarity, when you understand where you can channel your energy, where your strength lies. You see, where your strength lies. Yeah, like in business analysis, that's what we call SWOT analysis as well. You want to see, where your strength, your weakness. You want to see, external factors. You want to see everything that can make you focus your energy on the right path without losing focus. So awareness is actually, where do I do well? What can I actually focus my strength on? So it is not about what you have studied. It's not about the educational part of it. But don't quote me out of context, right? Education is, the foundation of everything. But now we're talking about skills, and we're talking about AI skills, even though AI is actually being integrated into every syllabus recently. We are having higher institutions, higher universities putting AI into their syllabus here and there. So first of all is you want to understand that, okay, It's not about what I have on my CV. This is a unique skill that I have learned. And how do I focus on that? Now, the second one is about the choice, right? Um, Now, choice is something that we make you to say that, okay, out of all of these things, out of the ones that is all over the places, which one can I choose so that I can now channel my energy into that? So if you can look at this very well, look at people who actually into AI, for instance, you will see that they actually pick a niche. And when you pick a niche, you want to, choose that particular niche and then focus on that particular stuff. Let's say, for instance, yesterday we have AI automation in animation, kiddies animation. You see, we can also say, okay, this is what I want to do. And if, on the other hand, you're the one that maybe your background or something, you are into automation, AI automation to build workflows, processes that can solve people's problems. You want to choose something and then focus on that. If you are a data analyst, for instance, you want to really improve your presentation skill, how you build your dashboard or your data analysis skill. Yes, you can also, pick that niche, look at the AI tools that can help you to achieve that, and imbibe that in your organization or in your personal project. So awareness and choice is one thing that we need to be deliberate about. Moving on, the next thing here is testing and iteration, right? We all have an idea. And when we build our idea, sometimes it doesn't really, in fact, it's not really okay. It's never okay for us to say in that in this recent day technology, nobody build things to perfection before you start using it. Imagine if you are to build a motorcycle today, and maybe someone out there is actually building another sort of motorcycle that's going to fly, and we have people with different tastes, different orientation. First of all, what is testing here? Testing means whatever you are doing at this stage, even with AI, you need to just put it out there. You learn along. Perfection is not built in a day. You don't need to wait for that perfection. People's We give feedback from what you're doing well, what you're not doing so well. You begin to test and you begin to, hydrate them as well. You collect feedback, you identify which one needs an improvement, and then you approach them accordingly. So this is another way. After we are already aware of what we want to do. We've chosen what we are going to be doing when it comes to AI. Then the next thing is to push it out there, and then you start getting feedback and make it better as time goes on. So if your skill hasn't tested in the real world, if you have not really, put it out there for the real users, then somehow it can just remain very idle without any impact. Like I said, showing up is not you having the idea or building the stuff. If you have not really make an impact, if you've not really created a value that generates something back to you, that give you the value of why that thing is actually built, then there is nothing to reckon with. So test your ideas, test your strengths, test your focus, and then with feedback, we can do better. And the next two, which is the last two of the framework, visibility and exchange. I've spoken, slightly about this, but let's look at it from, another angle. Many of us, we actually work very hard in silence. And I think this is a very big mistake. I wouldn't say this is a particular reason, because everyone has a reason for why they feel isolated or why they feel they are not moving forward regarding a particular skill or a tool that they are using. But majority of it, I think it is within. Just get it straight. If you're actually aware, if you're actually very focused in the things you are doing, then we will understand that working hard in silence is one of the major mistake that we do. If, excuse me, If the leaders or if your clients cannot see the impact of what you are building, of what you have done, then it doesn't exist. That thing doesn't exist. That solution will never come to light. That solution will never solve any problem, right? So this is what visibility is talking about. If the client cannot understand the value of what you have created, they cannot pay for it. No one is going to pay for it, right? So visibility is not actually noise, it is clarity. And I'll keep saying it. A lot of us, we come, we have done things, but to put it out there is now the problem. Or to even bring out ourselves to show what we have done has become a very big problem. And sometimes we don't even realize it. So it is very good for us to be aware that, showing up, as in being visible, is actually what brings or what is going to add value to your skill or to anything that you have already learned, right? So, okay, let's put a more practical example to visibility. And in a workplace, let's assume I'm a data analyst and somehow I bring out report, I build dashboard, I communicated all of this, and one way or the other, nobody picks up my file or my report to do anything on it, or maybe the should I say the leadership, they never really connect with the delivery. So it stays invisible, and when something stays invisible, there is no impact. When there is no impact, there is no value, and there is nothing to talk about when it comes to invisible solutions, right? So sometimes I also think money is not the goal. Sometimes this actually keeps us in this particular context where visibility becomes a problem. Most of the time, we know that we are actually doing this to make money, to get something valuable or to monetize at the end of the day. But if money comes to the center of our mind, I think it shades away the way we bring out or the way we display or the way we want to even come alive to show what we have, right? So we want to just adjust our mindset to say, okay, let me go out there, let me do it even for anyone who can see this and probably recommend you, or who can actually see this and say, okay, yeah, this is what it is. And from there, you begin to, gain more confidence and believe even the more. Though you are the architect, so you know better. So definitely we want to just keep showing up. And the last one here is the exchange, right? So exchange here is truly, I would say it's much more for me, it's a reality check. You see, when your value is visible, the trust begin to increase. People see what you are doing and they begin to trust you, right? They begin to trust that process. Opportunities will start to emerge. Imagine if maybe you are a content creator or even whatever AI tools you are making use of, and then you start creating content around it, or maybe you have opportunity to join a community like this to present that particular value to people, like people who joined or who has been, coming over to present what they do. These are opportunities that can actually shoot, you and your creation or your idea or that particular value you have created that can then generate revenue on the long run. So at first, if we put it like money, 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 I think money can actually shield us or prevent our ability, to come out and then to really showcase what we have. Moving on. Okay, I think I will just digress a little. And if there is anyone or anything you want to just add up, or any question or anything, please feel free to ask. Right? Does anyone have anything to say, anything to add to what we are saying? Because it seems like I'm just on and I can't see who and who is on the call. Do we have anything to say? Please unmute and say something. I just took us through the framework, right? I just took us through the framework, and I believe, okay, if there is nothing, I will continue. So here, I just have to put a practical loop here. This is the SAV. like literally is a save loop, something practical. And here I just want to say, okay, if I were you, I would look at it like and tell myself, here is a very simple reality check. I can say, okay, in every week, or let's say for the rest of this week or for next week, what skill did I use? I mean, what skill am I going to use? Or what skill have I used in the past few days from the beginning of this week? It's something we want to actually tell ourselves and say, okay, how have I used ChatGPT to help maybe my task, maybe create something unique and that has actually given me satisfaction in what way? How did I apply those skills? What has changed? How did I generate value for myself this time around, right? How did it generate value? So if nothing has actually changed from the use of AI that maybe the ones you have been making use of, you cannot categorically say this is how things has, changed. Then I would say that activation did not happen, right? So we want to look at our skills, we want to look at the AI tools, and we want to look at everything and say, okay, how am I really, making value for this? And I'm putting this out to everyone. If you have any AI skills, if you have anything you are doing with it, you are your first customer, right? Do it for yourself, do it for your friend, do it for a relative, do it for people around you. Sometimes it comes with almost nothing. But the truth is, you are building up a portfolio, you are building up visibility gradually. They will recommend you, they will see what you are doing. And on the long run, it will translate to something that you are hoping for, right? So, what is the skill? What can I do? If I want to look at it from, okay, what have I been using from the past few days? Today's Wednesday. And I want to say, okay, for the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday, or even over the weekend or next week, what skill can I, really do? What am I capable of? Which area am I so I'm interested in that can I invest my power, my efforts, my focus, so that I can begin to transform and then begin to apply this. So another thing there is after you tell yourself this is where you are good at, you also want to look at it from another angle. How do I apply this? Right? I have actually picked passion for AI animation. Now, the next thing is how do I apply it or where do I apply it? Then you want to see, okay, I want to create content. I want to go into maybe YouTube, TikTok, and all of that to start posting all of those things. You start getting the views, start getting collaboration, something like that. Where can I apply it? And then at the end of the day, all of this translates to something valuable, right? If after applying this, you stay consistent, I can tell you for sure, it's going to turn to money. It's going to turn to valuable things, something that will bring return to you on the long run, right? So this is the save loop that you can also use. It's like a test for yourself to query your mindset, to test your ability, to sink into your inner mind and tell yourself the truth, because this is something that is unique to you. You want to understand your own environment. You want to understand what you have passion for, and then see where you want to apply it. And then at the end of the day, brings value, right? Okay, so this one here, I created a case study, and I believe at one point in time, we are going to understand, we already probably already know who this is all about. So this is a case study of activation in action, how one programmer transformed present into impact, how a programmer transformed presence that's showing up into impact, that's really activation, how it gets activated. And yeah, without beating around the bush, this is about Nate Heck. We all know this guy, or let's say majority of us should know this guy. Nate is not a traditional software engineer. He's not a hardcore programmer. He's best described as an AI builder, AI automation builder, a low code, no code system thinker. He teaches in the community, the school community, right? All about AI automation space. His strength is not actually even writing complex code from scratch, but actually it connects tools, workflows, business cases, business outcome. And that's what this guy is known for. When and how this guy started, I think, if I am not mistaken from my little research, because I think I get to know that guy actually last year, which was 2025. But from what I found out, he has been, low code, like low key, 2022, 2023, during the surge of low code, no code stuff. And then I'm quite sure there was no anything. I think anything is much more recent, just like, well, I think I'm not quite sure, but I think anything is quite recent, maybe 2024, if I'm not mistaken. And Nate's visibility actually began around that 2020, 2023. What he does then, what he talks about was a little bit of people to adopt AI, and it was centered around open AI because he's a programmer. Open AI, APIs, ChatGPT. This is what this guy was actually into. And at that time, many people were just talking about AI. They were posting prompts, chasing after different AI tools. So Nate, in my own understanding, it took a different path. What is a starting point? This guy at the beginning, he already understood automation tools, right? He was building workflows for himself, for a few others, a few of his friends. But his skills, we can tell that the guy has a real skill, but the impact was limited. He was just doing within his circle, which is actually, like I said, your first customer is yourself. If you can do this for yourself, do it for your friends. Before you know it, something we get activated for real, and then your audience will improve, or your audience will increase. So he had a skill, but his skill was not as loud as it should be. Then he made a choice, which was when he got activated. He chose to focus on only one thing, making AI automation simple, practical, and usable for everyday creators and businesses. I'll tell you the truth. It makes more money from other people who are creating AI automation every day. And though it started, with business, one client there, one second client here, but before you know it, it got online, it got activated. Like I said, it focused on that AI automation, and that's where it got activated. It deliberately, or I say intentionally, did not try to be a general AI expert. It did not compete with hardcore developers, those programmers that will say, oh, we are creating a flying car and all of that, and say, okay, let's see how to do it. No, he said low code, no code. And that's why he focused on only the tools, only applications, only AI tools that fit into that low code and no code. This is activated thinking, narrow focus, clear value, and then repeating this over time definitely gives or gave him the limelight where he is at the moment. And when we look at the testing or iteration part of it, instead of him, writing theories or coming up with a lot of theoretical stuff and that, what he did or what he's doing right now is just to build automations repeatedly. He learned new things. He tests on solutions he has already created, and then when people see value in it, there's always a gap. There will be a gap, even in already made solutions. There will be a gap. So he built automations repeatedly, tested them in real scenarios, and shared this with a group of people like-minded in maybe within his circle or within the client. So somehow this is how it gets to improve, continuous improvement, right? Continuous improvement. And that's the way I see his own clarity. It reduced the complexity of dancing into many branches of AI, focusing on only automations. And people adopt the idea. People start to, learn from him and create the same thing. For me, I would say the way he does his thing, the way he's going is much more of agile thinking. Because if you look at this page today, you probably will find something about AI and this, AI and this. I mean, automation with this tool, automation with cloud, automation with anything, building maybe supply chain management, something that can help you to automate your task, something that brings value around AI automation, right? And all of these things can actually be possible with consistency. With consistency, it keeps delivering and it keeps getting better. And the last part of it, which is the visibility and the exchange, this is actually where value was converted. He did something many skilled people would avoid. What did he do? He made his work visible. He's teaching openly on YouTube, on social media platforms, and he's documenting those processes. He documents all the processes. He built a community on school, and as a result, people associate with him. He's a practical AI automation boss right now. He makes, in fact, if you are so curious, you can just Google this guy and see how much he makes in a month. You will be wowed, right? You will be wowed. So is somebody I've actually been looking at. I've looked into his work, things he's doing, and I'm really highly, motivated about his work and how he spread his tentacles around his circle. Right. So as a result of coming out to building a community in school, people associate with him. Trust has increased, demand is here and there, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he has about maybe 3,000 people paying at least $99 every month. So if I thought you can look at that aspect alone, give or take, even if you want to say it's 2,000 people that are paying or 1,500, do the multiplication. That is a lot, just only on school. Not to talk about money generating from coming from content creation from all platforms here and there. So the revenue and the influence has scaled a lot. It has scaled a lot. And this is not coming from the AI. It's not coming from noise. I believe this is coming from someone who realize or who follow the clarity and not the noise of AI here and there. So for this, I want to just wrap it up with the active framework. Like I said, this is a typical example of the guy, which I believe we can also look at and say, okay, we are not going to be all over the places. We are just going to choose one thing. We're going to be focused on that particular thing, be persistent, be resilient, and be consistent about it, right? When we do that, we find a way, we look for a way to also ensure that we create visibility. And if, depending on what it is, building a community around it can also, go a long way to ensure that, we get closer to that value creation. Okay, now, these are common activation blockers. What prevents skilled people from creating impact? If we look at the first one here, it says perfectionism masquerading as standard. A lot of us want to, we want to do something, and the first thing that comes to mind is, this is not good enough. I can't show this out there. I can't, bring it out because it's not looking good. It's not where I think it should be. It's not there yet. So we come with the heart or with the mind of perfection to perfect things before we go out there. So we keep preparing, we keep iterating, we keep wasting time or adjusting and all of that. But the fact is, if we want to be like this, we are not ready. You have to go out there with the little. If you are in the right environment or in the right community, then you will understand that the little you are giving out there, and if you know how to actually get feedback or how to relate or network, definitely you will perfect that particular skill over time. It's just a matter of maybe asking questions or somebody telling you that is not how it's supposed to be, or that is not done correctly, or this is how you're supposed to do it. So we don't have to wait until it is perfect before we launch. You don't want to wait until the result is made, because if the result is actually there already, it probably would stay in our head and it dies in the head forever. So perfectionism is one thing that can block us from being active, or from getting activated, if I put it that way. Second thing is the skill accumulation without application. Yes, it's something we have been talking about. The AI noise. AI noise is actually because we have several AI applications. You can see 1,000 applications that doing just one thing. Talk about maybe data analysis, or let's say, for instance, you want to generate a picture. You have several AI that will do that. So you want to learn Zapier, you want to learn make.com, you want to go and let jotform.com and all of that. They are doing the same thing. So if you accumulate all of these skills, and you can't just choose one to apply it to the particular thing that you're doing, then this is going to stop you from getting activated for real. You just keep learning every day, and nothing is being done, nothing is being used at the end of the day. And another thing is waiting for permission or idea conditions, right? The perfect project, the supportive manager, the adequate resources. Meanwhile, those who activate work with what they have, where they have. So here is something it's much more. I wouldn't say this is a kind of imposter syndrome, because when you don't really believe in what you are doing, you're waiting for someone to validate, for somebody to give you permission, for somebody to say, okay, you are ready to go out there, you are ready to do this. This is another common activation blocker. So if you can think about it, if you can imagine it, then it's already there, it's already done, right? Just take action, launch it, get feedback, and improve upon it. And this is also part of the vulnerability that we, talked about earlier. You have to be vulnerable. That is it. Just look at it. I think there was a time, not quite long, I was actually talking with a friend. He says he wants to, go viral, to go viral. I was like, okay, how do you want to do it? And he was like, no, he doesn't want to go viral like the way this guy. Okay, I'll take it back to Nigeria. I think all our Nigerian audience can, relate with this one. When this guy, Pella, was actually running after high show speed when he visited Nigeria, it was like, okay, that guy actually, is famous already, but somehow going viral can mean you doing something crazy, something uneasy, something very stupid. Actually, you go viral that way. And then I asked him, how do you want to go viral? He said no, he wants to go viral in the describing some sort of corporate socialite elite settings. Like, okay, and I said, okay, is Elon Musk, or is what's his name, Dangote, all these one of the 1% of the socialite or elites that are very, very rich, are they viral, or how did they go viral? How did they go viral? Right? But the point I'm saying here is, for you to go viral, you have to, to be vulnerable in a way that something crazy has to be done. You mustn't go wide, you mustn't chase after somebody, but there are things you have to do consistently without minding how stupid it looks, or how crazy or madness it can, look like in the sight of anybody watching. Because that way you can actually you can actually lose yourself and find yourself, if I put it that way. So you can't go viral if you want to be an elite, because if you already make your money, maybe the money, your business, your investment will speak for you. I don't think that is virality. When it comes to virality, something happened at a particular time, something very loud, very shocking, very annoying to maybe a lot of people. Actually, that's what takes people to some sort of limelight. This is also subjective, and we can look at it from different angles. Okay, The last one here, fear of being seen and evaluated. I think it's actually what I just talked about right now. So the fear of, what people will say, how they will see you, the way you want to really blow. This is your own carved way of, going viral. And I believe this is some sort of illusion because you need to go out there. If you're not out there doing what you want to do freely without having the sense of what people will say, how you feel about what I'm doing or how I will look at the end of the day. I believe these are few things among others that can actually block us from getting activated for real. Moving on, I think we have just about 2-3 slides the more. So now the activation plan, you have to set a plan for yourself. How do you want to get activated? We already have the skill. We already know, yeah, this is it. So from all the things you have learned, from all the skills you have been learning, if we put it that way, which one are you going to focus on? Which of the skills are you going to activate? Not 2, not 3, not 5, not 10. Can you just pick one? And when I say one, it can be diverse in some ways. Imagine if I am a data analyst and I want to use some AI tools for me to build dashboard, analyze data, do some sort of things. It doesn't mean I must use only cloud AI. I can actually use a ChatGPT to write some prompt and then throw it back to cloud if cloud is the one that understands data set properly, right? So, but the truth is, I'm about data. I want to improve my data. I want to activate my data skill. Okay, for instance, I want to activate my video content creation. What tools do I need to learn? CapCut, or I want to learn, there are a lot of them, right? So you want to see the one that actually relates, that can keep your focus into one particular niche or particular category. So which of these skills are you going to activate? You have to tell yourself, you have to write it down. You have to put these things down. And before the end of this session, like you can see here, please make a note. If you cannot put it down, what you cannot see, what you cannot measure, if you keep these things in your head, you probably will remain in your head forever. So try to write them down so you see a way to activate them. So the next thing is, where will I apply it? So when you identify this particular skill, where will I apply this? This is you making a plan for yourself, how you want to achieve, how you want to really get activated this year. So, and then the third one, how will I measure the value and who needs to see the work? If you look at this activation plan, it's actually a SMART activation plan. You see, when we are creating a SMART goal, the SMART framework, where we have a SMART, right? So this is actually SMART, which you can, relate with one way or the other for you to make sure that whatever you are doing is measurable, they are time bound, they are attainable, they are, they relate to what your goal, your vision is like, your skills, something that can bring it out. So you put this thing down and then you check them timely to make sure that you're following up. You're following up with it. You're following up with your goals. You're following up with what you have written down. Within how many, for a week, for a month, for the next 30 days, for the next 90 days. These are the ways we can, check with ourselves. Otherwise, any of these things, if we keep them in our heads, they'll definitely remain there and we never make any sense, right? And yes, I call this one the activated mindset. These are just a few principles, something we can just, resonate with, something to relate with. You see, action over readiness. You don't want to wait until you are really ready before you take actions. There is no perfection anywhere. Once you can figure out this is what it is, action is what really takes you, or what really gives you that ready mindset. What wakes the curiosity in you. Okay, the first action to take is actually to pay for that class that you've been looking for, that AI animation class, that project management course, that data analytic classes. The first action is okay. I'm aware that I need to add these skills to my, my knowledge, to what I am building or working upon. The first action will be, okay, you've accepted, pay for it, take action, take the first step. Once you take the first step, other things will come into play. Imagine paying for something and you are not attending the class, then you probably know that, this is about you and not something else, not the village people, not anyone coming from, different angle telling you what is not. So the thing is, readiness is measured by action that you take first. Okay. And then visibility over modesty. We have talked around this one, so we won't say too much. So when you say you are putting yourself out there, this is not weakness, it is not arrogance, it is not for you to look down upon yourself. In fact, putting yourself out there builds confidence. It builds more confidence in you. So you just don't want to care about how people see you or how people see what you do. You are the first believer. You created, you want to see your skill, you want to generate value. So definitely, you are the one, you are the architect of anything that will happen to you. So definitely, you want to make sure that you put you put yourself out there. Evidence over intention. Evidence is show me your work, show the work, and if people just go around with intentions, how do we then read the value of what, or how does it translate to something that will give value at the end of the day? So you have to bring it out, you have to show it, show evidence, and then you get value for it. Okay, exchange over accumulation. So this one is how do you translate your skills into, how do you monetize it, how do you exchange that thing you have learned? How do you do that? So these are the things we want to activate in our mindset. We want to have a shift of mindset from where we used to be, call it traditional way, or let's now move into more artificial intelligence way of doing things. So these are just a few principles that can actually help us to get activated for real. Now, activation, I would say it is not something you want to say, okay, I'm activated and that's it, right? It's a lifelong practice. It's a continuous effort. It's a continuous program or framework that you must abide in, right? Like we all know, nobody is going to mince word for us. AI is changing almost every, should I say seconds? Every seconds, every minute, new things, new tools, not even about new tools or the newness of, the AI software that are coming up, but you have to stay updated. You have to stay in your own particular field. You have to, keep learning what is new, see how the tools you are using is, how they are shifting. Some of the software almost every week, every other week, you will see a new update. Sometimes they are testing and correcting bugs. So you can't stay just on the version you have and think you have it all. No, you have to stay practicing, learning, and adjusting or adapting to what is going on. So, as a researcher, I've learned that knowledge compounds only when tested. Right? Testing in this sense is not just about it's not application of testing how much you can earn with it. It's actually testing how you can consistently improve on that to actually generate more value. So value is diverse. Let's not look at it like, okay, until it gives me money and that's all the value. Value can come in different form. Sometimes people who are actually, you know, teaching these tools or software to other people, I think to them, that's the greatest value that they can think of. It's not like they are not making money at all, but I've seen many people who actually teach, they are teaching AI, not really for, that particular money, but the life they transform. That is a change. That is much more of exchange to them. That's the value to them. And, whoever is in that part, I pray God continue to replenish and all of that. So, and as a practitioner as well, we've learned that when you apply, I mean, I've learned that skills matters only when you apply visibly, when they apply visibly. So The skill can only turn to something when you apply them. A brilliant solution that no one implements creates zero value. Impact requires both competence and courage. All right. So you want to ask yourself 3 questions. Ask yourself as you want to move on into the new day tomorrow, the weekend, coming next month. Already I've heard a lot of people say January is one of the longest months, and for me, I don't know, it's just like a twinkle of an eye. Before I knew it, January is already over. Today is Wednesday 28th. By weekend or Sunday we have a new month, and the shocking part of it, February is actually the maybe it's going to be the longest, even technically or literally, it's the shortest because it's just 28 days, 27 days. I'm not sure if it's the lunar, if it's the, what's it called again? If it's we one with 29 or 28 days, I'm not really sure. But January, February is going to come very quick and then it will go. So imagine, how did you spend January? How are you going to spend the next 11 months? Before you know it, you need to get activated. So when we talk of AI, please, let's try to, stay activated. Let's know what our capability is. What are we going to stay focused on? Where are we going to apply it? How are we going to exchange this for value to generate value on the long run? Okay. So I want to close my discussion now. As Africans, as Africans in tech, let me say, to get activated. Okay, let's look at it. To get activated, you want to ask yourself, maybe in the next 7 days, answer 4 activation questions. You want to create something. Look around what you have, your skills, what you know, what you're trying to improve upon. Which one are you going to activate in the next 7 days? Share with somebody like a mentor, like, if you're in a community, someone who can, speak to you or can kind of check on you and say, okay, this and all that. If you have someone like that, otherwise, you have to be the one who will do this for yourself, right? And, if you are disciplined, if we are disciplined, I think it's actually achievable. But it would be nice if you have a mentor, you have a community, you have somebody you can, that can actually keep you accountable to this. So in the next 7 days, you want to create like 4 questions that can, tell you what you really want to activate. You write them down in the next 90 days. That is 3 months. How do you apply these skills? One of them at a time. You want to document what outcome are you expecting? How do you think this will translate to feedback? And if I put this into a more practical sense, I would use the example of yesterday. For those who are here yesterday, yes, I think I actually resonate better with one woman who actually, started kiddies animation. I think she has about, I'm not quite sure again, maybe 13 videos, and she already got about 1,000 subscribers. And for what I can remember, I think it's within a year or so. I'm not within a year or less than a year or so. So this sometimes you might not be so specific, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. If we can put a time bound to what we are trying to do, nothing really comes miraculously, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't quote me out of a contest. Miracle happens, but let's be more intentional. Let's be more deliberate, because something needs to push you. Something needs to guide your energy into where you want to be. And it is only when you set time, clear goals, attainable goals, not the ones that come out of illusion or something that can put you down or that can weigh us down a lot. So at the end of the day, we want to say by the end of November 2026, I want to see what the outcome is. Let's see where we are. How much have I earned? How much have I impact? How much have I, contribute? And how have I really, gotten activated? So as Africans in tech, we can't afford to, to have hidden values. We must be intentional. We must apply our skills. We must make our impact visible. This year, don't ask what you know. This month, this week, tomorrow, don't ask, don't really do it like, what do I know? I want us to be like, ask what you are activating. What are you going to activate from what you know? Because the world will not reward potentials. If potentials are here, and that's one of it's a slogan here at Rockitech, right? Transforming like unlocking potentials. We all have it in us, right? We just want a platform. We want a community. We want somewhere, someone that that's you to activate, this particular potential and make sure to see how it can generate or it can bring value to us, to our family, or to however we want to, relate it with. So as a researcher, I've learned that knowledge grows through testing. We come to hypothesis, when you are testing a particular, looking for gap in a particular niche or industry or a project, whatever it is, you want to test those ideas. And somehow it takes a long process because it's actually visible. Sometimes you go online, you do a research, but for you to truly test, we go straight to those involved. In my own line of research, I have to visit those CEOs, visit people in the line of my field, in the line of my research, which is supply chain and all that. Still relating to AI anyway. But what I'm trying to say is we have to be on ground. You have to show your face. You have to go to them, meet them, talk to them directly. Sometimes it's probably you are going to do your survey and all of that, but you want to make sure that that survey is hitting the right people, not just the internet noise and all of that. So finally, um, let's say it's a new week. It's going to be it's going to be a new week coming soon, a new month coming. So pick one skill, apply it deliberately, make the outcome, make the effort, the progress visible, right? We already have these things. Probably we just need to, start one thing. And I will tell you something. This is something I have been doing. It might not, be so loud for now, but I know time will come. We get so to the place or to the audience I want it to. Once I conceive an idea, what I do immediately, I no longer wait, not even documenting. I take the first step. If it is me, okay, let's say for instance, you want to create. You want to create let me find a typical example. Okay, let's say for instance, I want to start maybe showing a particular skill. I want to look at what platform will help me to, bring this out to people. Immediately I think of it. If it's a website, I'm paying for that website. If it is creating an email address, I'm doing that email address immediately. And then let it be like, okay, I've already have a footprint. It's just for me to continue in that action. So I don't need to wait till I can have a developer who is going to do the website or someone who is going to do this. And just take one bold step, apply it, and then make your progress. This time around, I will say make your progress visible, and then the outcome will follow, right? So lastly, I would just say the world, like I've said earlier, does not reward any potential. They actually reward what we apply, what we showcase, and the value that actually translates, to a visible outcome. So thank you, everyone. I hope I've been able to speak to your mindset, and I hope this has awakened something in you that can get you activated in terms of AI, not to fall for the noise, but to actually be more deliberate and gain more clarity in the way to go. So I'll hand over the mic to again to Mr. Tolu. I think the time is actually 10:30. So thank you, everyone, once again. Thank you. If you have any question, if you have any thing to add, the floor is open. Mr. Tolu, thank you so much.
You on the mic. It's all for wow. That was really. We've gone through many trainings here and there. It's time for us to activate those skills that we, at least one. So many of us, we have so many. Any training, we jump on it, we accumulate with, but after the training, we just go and sit down. And now we have AI to enhance us. if you just activate one of those things that even though it's just cooking, AI can still assist you. I'm bringing it to our IT world. There's so many opportunities. The AI people, they've said AI is going to create the very soon AI is going to create trillionaires. Now we have billionaires. So if AI is creating trillionaires for those billionaires, we are thousandaire, we should move to millionaire as well. We should join them, even if we can't aim. Some people have moved from zero to a millionaire using just this AI, using Claude. There's a story of somebody that of a lady that just used Claude, and she's now making millions in pounds and dollars. So if it be us, it can be you, it can be me. If we just activate I wrote here too many training and too little action. And visitors charge us for the next 7 days. Can you pick something and say, okay, this I want to show up, and not only show up, but I want to be present. And not only present, I want to continue to show up. I want to continue to do this, not do this halfway, we drop it. We know life can be so busy, life can be so tiring. Yes, we everyone we know that, but it is this same 24 hours that people that are getting breakthrough because they refuse to just give in. They are also using. It's the same 24 hours every day that we are giving. I've got a whole lot of pile of things that I need to do, but constantly I know that there's something that I must show up for, and I want to say at least showing up for Rockitech, no matter what it is, I will do something. So let's take something, and if it's something that you cannot do alone, come around. Let's partner together. Let's see how we can collaborate. That's what we are here for. That's what Rockitech is for. We know most things, only one person cannot get it done, and this is but so please, if you know you need help, we are here. Let us collaborate. So thank you very much, Vincent. Does anyone have any question to add or anything that they want to add? Not even question. I'm sure we all he has charged us in the next 7 days. Just look within and say, okay, I have these skills. I have this feed it into ChatGPT. Talk to it. I have this, I know this, and I want to show forth. I want to build myself to be able to monetize it. How should I go about it? It's going to give you some pointers, and then you can continue to work on it. Right. So thank you, everyone. If there's no question, so I want to see today as our main talk because it resonates with what we have on Rockitech. We are transforming life by bringing out the potentials in us, and this is what we've been doing. And this is a talk to that. So as we continue this year, join us. So that even reminds me, we run this part of being activated. We don't do training. We allow people to go and do their training wherever, which is fine. We're calling people to train, but here we get our hands dirty. So our next cohort of practical live project that we're going to do is going to start next month. We're looking at the middle of next month, shortly after this our impact sprint, because we program it so that this impact sprint will gear us into that, and we come together. We work in Scrum environment. We usually deploy using Scrum, and then we are also looking at developing AI agents. We started AI agent last cohort. We're going to continue, and then some other projects. So it's a hands-on. Even last month, somebody said came for for reference. I didn't even know. She was just explaining herself to me. She called her name and she was on this cohort, blah blah blah. I don't know. She asked for reference. She was one that decided the reference for herself, and she just needed Rockitech stamp and when I asked her last week, she said everything had gone through and a BA. So we're getting results. Even myself, I can say a testimony as well. And some of us are still trying, but with consistency, I believe there will be miracle. Just like my business has said, miracle happen. Everything is all wind up into one. If miracle happen and you are not prepared for the miracle, it's not going to come to you. All right. So thank you everyone. And if there's no question, tomorrow we're going back to maybe full AI, not full AI. We're going back to something particular about AI. And it's just in line with what Vincent have been saying that AI will not take our job, but AI will enhance us to show forth, to be active, to activate something in us. So tomorrow, Tunde Adedoko is coming, and I'm sure I think he's also from the school of thought of David. So expect a fire pack house tomorrow as well. He's going to tell us why and how AI is not going to take our job, because people have been saying AI will take job, AI will take. I don't even consider that thing once. I've not even thought about AI taking my job. But people have been saying it, and it's now becoming like a song. And technically, I've not seen a job particularly that AI has taken, unless anyway, tomorrow you will hear from him. The flyer will go out shortly. So thank you everyone as we continue our impact sprint. If you have any, if you are also led, or you know that you can also deliver something, please reach out to us. It's a sprint. We operate in an agile environment. So we already have a topic. That's why we've not announced the old topics as one, as a bulk. Anything can change. This is an agile environment. So if you have something, we can still accommodate. And if not for now, we've got also timetable for throughout to the end of the year. We normally have our Thursday knowledge sharing section where we encourage people to come and share what they've known, their knowledge, and then. So thank you, and see you tomorrow if there's no question. Ben, no question today.
No, just what I'm about to say. It's not a question. Okay, so Mr. Vincent, thank you. That was very insightful. I even actually wanted to say this last time I was in class, but I didn't want it to be like I'm overshooting myself. The honest truth is I really appreciate people like you, Kike, Mr. Tope, that put this class. To be very honest, actually, when you were sharing this session, I was actually smiling because actually after that last class, I started to actually get to work. Currently, I'm actually working on a project, even though that one is with another set of people. And it actually has a lot of AI integration. I'm actually even the one leading the product. It's my own idea. So I can really say that honestly, that cohort, these training sessions we are doing is really bringing those type of things to life. And I would also use it to encourage other people that it's not just about learning. One of the reasons why I sat and I remember when I talked to Mr. Topman, I told him even after our cohort, you will still see that I go nowhere because this is really one place that I just noticed that you feel at home and then you don't just learn. You learn and become a community. You grow your skills and you are also kind of put your skills to practice. And that's why I still stuck around. I'm still very much around. So everything you shared resonates with me. And I also encourage as much as those of us not just come here to learn, and just to sit well, activate, and also put that thing to practice. It can be just a casual day-to-day thing. It can be your friend, your brother, your sister who has a business, which is a manual way of doing things. You can use what you've learned here, start automating things for them, and use it to put your skills to practice. So that's my own contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that.